Your success is determined not by what you do at work, but by who you become. Most people have it backwards. They pour everything into their job while neglecting themselves. They work hard for their company but forget to work on their mind, their skills, their character. I want to tell you something that changed my life when I finally understood it. Success is not about working harder at your job. It's about working harder on yourself. When you grow, everything around you grows too. I've watched thousands of people over the decades. The ones who struggle are always chasing the next promotion, the next position, the next paycheck. But the ones who thrive, they chase personal growth. They understand that their value in the marketplace is directly tied to their value as a person. Working harder on yourself than on your job is the difference between making a living and making a fortune, between existing and truly living, between settling for what comes and creating what you want. Most people spend more time planning their weekend than planning their life. They invest more in their car than in their mind. They watch hours of television but can't find 10 minutes to read a book. Then they wonder why life isn't working out the way they hoped. I was once like that too, working hard at my job, thinking that's what mattered most. I was wrong. Everything changed when I realized that my income would rarely exceed my personal development. That's when I started investing in myself. And that's what I want to talk with you about today. Success isn't something you pursue. Success is something you attract by the person you become, and becoming happens through deliberate self-improvement, through working harder on yourself than you do on anything else. You might be thinking, that sounds nice, but my job demands everything from me right now. I understand, but here's what I've learned. When you make yourself valuable, the world makes you rich. When you solve your personal problems, you solve your financial problems. When you develop yourself, you develop your future. Let me share with you what happened in my own life. At age 25, I was broke, confused, and unhappy. I worked hard. That wasn't the problem. I showed up on time, did what was asked, stayed late when needed. But I was focused entirely on my job while neglecting myself. Then I met my mentor, Mr. Shove. He asked me a question that changed everything. Jim, how much better do you think you'll be doing 5 years from now? I answered confidently, much better. He then asked the question that woke me up. Why would you be doing better? I had no good answer. I was hoping things would get better. I was relying on hope as a strategy. Mr. Shoaff taught me that hope is not a strategy. Wishing things would change is not a plan. He said, Jim, if you want things to change, you have to change. If you want things to get better, you have to get better. That hit me like a thunderbolt. For things to improve, I had to improve. For things to change, I had to change. Success wasn't going to come from working harder at my job. It would come from working harder on myself. So I started reading books. I started attending seminars. I began associating with different people. I changed my thinking, my vocabulary, my attitudes. I worked on my philosophy, my communication skills, my time management. Within 6 years, I went from broke to millionaire, not because I found a better job or worked more hours, but because I found a better me and became more valuable. The transformation in my income followed the transformation in myself. This is what I want for you, to understand that the path to success lies not in your job, but in yourself. When you grow, your income grows. When you change your life, you see, the marketplace pays for value, and value comes from ourselves. The more valuable you become, the more you can earn. It's that simple. Your income is directly proportional to your value. Most people think, if I had a better job, I'd do better. That's backwards. If you were better, you'd have a better job. If you had more skills, more knowledge, better attitudes, you'd attract better opportunities. Think about it this way. Why does one person earn $50,000 while another earns $500,000? Is one working 10 times harder? No. The difference is in the value they bring. And that value comes from who they are and what. You might argue, but Jim, I know plenty of hardworking people who aren't successful. I agree. Hard work alone isn't enough. The key is working hard on the right things. And the most important thing to work on is yourself. The marketplace doesn't pay you for the hours you put in. It pays you for the value you bring in those hours. So the question isn't, how can I work more hours? The question is, how can I bring more value in the hours I work? And the answer to that question is personal development, becoming more skilled, more knowledgeable, more disciplined, more creative, more resourceful. Those qualities don't come from working harder at your job. They come from working harder on yourself. So what are the skills that increase your worth? What should you be developing in yourself? First, communication skills, your ability to express ideas, to persuade, to connect with others. This might be the most valuable skill you can develop. Study it, practice it, become exceptional at it. I've seen people with average intelligence, but excellent communication skills far outperform geniuses who couldn't convey their ideas. If you can communicate effectively, you can lead, sell, negotiate, teach, and influence. Those abilities are worth a fortune. Second, people skills. Understanding human nature. Building relationships, managing conflicts, creating rapport. These skills make you valuable in any organization, in any industry, at any time. Most people think technical skills are most important, but technical skills without people skills lead to limited success. People with outstanding people skills can always hire technical expertise. The reverse isn't always true. Third, specialized knowledge in your field. Whatever you do, become an expert at it. Know more about your area than anyone else. Read the books, take the courses, study the masters. But don't stop at what everyone else knows. Go beyond. Develop unique insights. Ask different questions. Make unexpected connections. That's how you become irreplaceable. Fourth, problem-solving skills. Every advance in human history came from solving problems. Businesses pay for solutions, not activities. The better you are at solving problems, the more valuable you become. Train yourself to see problems as opportunities. Develop a systematic approach to finding solutions. Become known as the person who can figure things out when nobody else can. Fifth, productivity skills. Your ability to get things done, to focus, to manage time, to set priorities, to eliminate distractions. In today's world, attention is scattered. If you can maintain focus and produce results while others are busy being busy, you'll stand out. These skills, communication, people skills, specialized knowledge, problem solving, and productivity. They're worth a fortune in the marketplace, but they don't develop by accident. You must work on them deliberately. The good news is that all of these skills can be learned. You weren't born knowing how to communicate effectively or solve complex problems. These are acquired abilities. And if you can acquire them, you can increase your value. But here's the key. You must develop these skills consistently over time. Success doesn't come from occasional efforts. It comes from small improvements accumulated day after day, year after year. I call this the compound effect. Just like compound interest can turn a small investment into a fortune over time, compound personal growth can turn an ordinary person into an extraordinary success. If you improve just one each day, after a year, you'll be 37 times better. That's the power of daily, consistent growth, not dramatic leaps, but steady progress in the right direction. Most people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can accomplish in a decade. They want instant results, but lasting success doesn't work that way. It's built day by day through constant self-improvement. Think about it. If you read just 10 pages of a good book every day, that's 3,650 pages per year. That's about 15 books. In 5 years, you've read 75 books. How would your life be different if you had the knowledge from 75 carefully selected books in your field? If you spent just 30 minutes daily improving a key skill, that's 182 hours per year. How much better would you be at that skill with an extra 182 hours of practice? That's like taking a 4-week full-time training course every year. Small daily improvements lead to stunning long-term results. But you must be patient. You must trust the process. You must understand that today's efforts create tomorrow's rewards. Most people quit because they don't see immediate results. They work on themselves for a week or a month, see little change, and give up. What they don't realize is that results take time to show up, but when they do, they often come all at once, surprising everyone except those who understand the compound effect. So how do you create a personal development plan that actually works? Let me share what I've found effective over the years. First, assess where you are now. Be honest about your strengths and weaknesses. What skills do you already have? What areas need improvement? Where are the gaps between where you are and where you want to be? Second, set clear goals for your personal development. What specifically do you want to learn? What skills do you want to acquire? What kind of person do you want to become? Make these goals specific and measurable. Not, I want to be a better communicator, but I want to be able to give a compelling 20-minute presentation without notes. Third, create a plan with specific activities. Will you read books, take courses, find a mentor, practice specific skills? The more specific your plan, the more likely you'll follow through. Don't say, I'll read more. Say, I'll read 20 pages every morning from 6:00 to 6:30. Fourth, build in accountability. Tell someone about your plan. Report your progress regularly. Consider finding a partner who's also committed to personal growth. Fifth, review and adjust regularly. Every month, assess what's working and what isn't. Personal development isn't static. It evolves as you. This systematic approach to personal growth is what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. Anyone can work hard at a job. Few people work hard on themselves in a structured, consistent way. Now, let me talk about one of the most powerful tools for personal development. Reading. I've often said that all the answers to your questions are in some book somewhere. The information you need, the ideas that can change your life, they're waiting for you on a shelf. Reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body. It strengthens you, it expands you, it gives you new capabilities. The books you read today will shape the life you lead tomorrow. I'm not talking about reading for entertainment, though there's nothing wrong with that. I'm talking about reading for growth, reading books that challenge you, that teach you new skills, that expand your thinking, that introduce you to new ideas. Some people say, I'm not a reader. That's like saying, I'm not an exerciser. You may not be now, but you can become one. And the benefits are enormous. If you read just 30 minutes a day, you'll be amazed at how quickly you can consume a book. Even 15 minutes daily adds up. The key is consistency. Start with books directly relevant to your goals. If you want to advance in your career, read about leadership, about your industry, about the skills needed in your field. If you want to improve your finances, read about investing, about money management, about wealth building. Don't just read the books. Apply what you learn, take notes, highlight key passages, review them regularly, discuss the ideas with others. Teaching what you've learned is one of the best ways to reinforce it. Beyond reading, another crucial aspect of personal development is the company you keep. Your associations shape you in profound ways. As the saying goes, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Look around at the people closest to you. Are they growing? Are they challenging themselves? Are they moving forward, or are they stagnant, complaining, making excuses? I'm not suggesting you abandon old friends, but I am suggesting you be intentional about seeking out growth-minded people. Find those who inspire you, who challenge you, who make you think bigger. Join groups focused on personal development. Attend seminars and workshops. Find mentors who are where you want to be. These associations will accelerate your growth in ways nothing else can. I still remember when I started associating with successful entrepreneurs. Their thinking was different. Their vocabulary was different. Their expectations were different. Being around them changed me. I started thinking differently, speaking differently, expecting differently. That's the power of association. It changes you at a level deeper than mere information. It changes your standards, your beliefs, your identity. Now, let's talk about something fundamental to personal development. Taking responsibility. This might be the most important shift you can make in your thinking. As long as you blame others for your situation, you give away your power to change it. As long as you point to circumstances as the reason for your limitations, you remain limited. Taking responsibility means saying, this is my life. I created my current situation through my choices, and I can create a different future through different choices. This isn't about blame, it's about power. When you take responsibility, you take back your power to change things. I meet so many people who say things like, I would be successful if my boss appreciated me more, or I would be in better shape if I had more time, or I would be financially secure if the economy were better. These statements might feel true. They might even be partially true, but they're disempowering. They place the control outside yourself. Instead, ask empowering questions. How can I become so valuable that any boss would appreciate me? How can I reorganize my schedule to make health a priority? How can I build financial skills that work in any economy? Taking responsibility is liberating. It means your future isn't determined by your past, by other people, or by circumstances beyond your control. It's determined by you, by your choices, your actions, your growth. One area where personal development pays enormous dividends is financial literacy. Most people work hard for money but never learn how money works. They earn a paycheck but don't know how to make their money earn for them. Financial education isn't taught in most schools. You have to seek it yourself. Learn about investing, about assets and liabilities, about cash flow and capital gains, about tax strategies and retirement planning. Don't leave your financial future to chance, or to the advice of someone who makes a commission when you follow their recommendations. Educate yourself, take courses, read books, talk to people who have achieved the financial results you want. The more you understand about money, the more you can make and keep. Financial ignorance is expensive. Financial knowledge pays dividends for life. I'm not saying money is everything. Far from it. But financial stress affects everything else in your life, your health, your relationships, your peace of mind. By developing financial intelligence, you remove that stress and create more freedom to pursue what truly matters. Speaking of what matters, let's talk about health. Your body is the vehicle through which you experience life and create value. If that vehicle breaks down, nothing else matters much. Personal development must include physical development, taking care of your health, managing your energy, building your stamina. I'm not talking about becoming a fitness model or running marathons, though there's nothing wrong with those goals if they appeal to you. I'm talking about basic health habits that give you the energy to pursue your other goals. Regular exercise, proper nutrition, adequate sleep, stress management, these aren't luxuries. They're necessities for sustained success. Many people sacrifice health for wealth only to spend their wealth trying to recover their health. That's poor strategy. Work on both simultaneously. They reinforce each other. When you exercise regularly, you have more energy for your work. When you eat well, you think more clearly. When you manage stress effectively, you make better decisions. Your physical habits affect your performance in every other area. Now let's discuss something that ties everything together. Time management. How you use your time determines everything else in your life. We all have the same 24 hours each day, but some people accomplish so much more than others in that time. The difference isn't intelligence or talent. It's choices about how to use time. Most people spend their time reactively. They respond to whatever demands their attention, emails, phone calls, other people's priorities. They're busy all day, but make little progress on what truly matters. Successful people spend their time proactively. They decide in advance what deserves their attention. They block out time for their most important activities, including personal development. They say no to distractions, even good ones that would take them off course. Time is your most precious resource. You can lose money and make it back. You can't lose time and get it back. Every minute, that is gone forever. So be intentional about your time. Schedule your priorities instead of prioritizing your schedule. Make time for what matters most, including working on yourself. One powerful time management strategy is to rise early. The quiet morning hours, before the world starts making demands on you, can be your most productive time for personal growth. Read, plan, think, exercise, establish a morning routine that sets you up for success. Another strategy is to eliminate or delegate low-value activities. Most people spend too much time on tasks that contribute little to their goals or their growth. Be ruthless about cutting these out. Focus on the vital few instead of the trivial many. Also, learn to say no. Every yes to one thing is a no to something else. Choose your yeses carefully. Make sure they align with your goals and values. As we near the end of our time together, I want to talk about legacy, about the ultimate purpose of personal development. It's not just about achieving more or earning more. It's about becoming more so you can contribute more. The purpose of growing is giving. The purpose of learning is teaching. The purpose of achieving is when you work on yourself, developing your skills, expanding your knowledge, strengthening your character. You increase what you have to offer others. You increase your capacity to make a difference. Think about the people who've influenced you most positively. Chances are they were individuals who invested heavily in their own growth, who became more so they could give more. That's the ultimate reason to work harder on yourself than on your job. Your job is what you do. Your personal development determines who you are, and who you are determines the impact you'll have on everyone around you. Your growth creates a ripple effect. As you develop, you influence your family, your friends, your colleagues, your community. You set an example. You raise standards. You show what's possible. That's why personal development isn't selfish. It's one of the most selfless things you can do, because you can't give what you don't have. You can't lead where you haven't gone. You can't teach what you don't know. By growing yourself, you qualify to help others grow. By developing yourself, you gain the ability to develop others. And that brings us full circle to where we started. Success isn't something you pursue. It's something you attract by the person you become. And becoming happens through deliberate self-improvement, through working harder on yourself than you do on anything else. The decisions you make today about your personal growth will determine who you are tomorrow. And who you are determines what you can do, have, share, and become. So I challenge you, make the decision today to work harder on yourself than on your job. Invest in your growth. Develop your skills. Expand your knowledge. Strengthen your character. Start now, not next week, not when things slow down, not when the timing is better. The timing will never be perfect. The best time to start was years ago. The second best time is right now. Begin with one small step. Read 10 pages. Listen to 30 minutes of educational content. Practice a skill for 15 minutes. Connect with someone who inspires growth. Take one action today that your future self will thank you for. Then do it again tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that. Small actions consistently taken lead to massive results over time. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in a year. Don't let that be you. Trust the process. Give your personal growth the time it deserves. I've traveled around the world and met people from all walks of life. The happiest, most successful people I've met have one thing in common. They never stop growing. They never stop learning. They never stop developing themselves. Some of them started with nothing. Some faced tremendous obstacles, but they understood this fundamental truth. Your circumstances can limit your life, but they don't have to limit your growth. No matter where you are today, you can grow from there. No matter what you've experienced in the past, you can create a different future by creating a different you. Let me leave you with this final thought. You have untapped potential within you, capacity you haven't yet discovered, talents you haven't yet developed, wisdom you haven't yet applied. The greatest disservice you can do to yourself and to the world is to leave that potential untapped. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job, and watch as everything in your life transforms. That's not just my advice. That's my promise to you. I've seen it happen thousands of times, and I know it can happen for you too. The future belongs to those who prepare for it today. And the best way to prepare is to work on the most important project you'll ever of yourself. Let me tell you about two employees I once knew. Both started at the same company on the same day. Both had similar educations, similar backgrounds, similar starting salaries. 5 years later, one was still in roughly the same position, making maybe 10 more than when he started. The other had been promoted 3 times and was earning 4 times his starting salary. What made the difference? It wasn't that one worked harder at his job. Both put in their hours. Both met their basic responsibilities. The difference was that the second employee worked harder on himself than on his job. While the first employee went home and watched TV, the second read books about leadership and communication. While the first complained about problems, the second developed problem-solving skills. While the first did what was required, the second constantly asked, how can I bring more value? The first employee waited for the company to develop him. The second took responsibility for his own development. The first focused on what he could get. The second focused on what he could become. Now here's the key. The company didn't promote the second employee because they liked him better or because they were being generous. They promoted him because he became more valuable. He could solve problems the first employee couldn't solve. He could see opportunities the first employee couldn't see. He could lead in ways the first employee couldn't lead. That's the marketplace at work. It rewards value, and value comes from personal growth. Some of you might be thinking, but Jim, what about office politics? What about favoritism? What about all the unfair things that happen in companies? Yes, those things exist. The workplace isn't always fair. But here's what I've found. When you become valuable enough, you transcend many of those limitations. When you bring enough value, people find ways to reward you. And if one audition doesn't, another will. The beauty of working on yourself is that it makes you valuable everywhere, not just in your current job. The skills, knowledge, and attitudes you develop travel with you throughout your career. They compound over time. They open doors you can't currently see. I often meet people who feel stuck in their careers. They've reached what they think is their ceiling, but what they've really reached is the ceiling of their current development. It's not their job that's limiting them, it's their growth. When you stop growing, you start declining. There's no standing still in this life. You're either getting better or getting worse. Working on yourself ensures you're always moving forward. Remember, too, that your personal development affects more than just your career. It touches every area of your life. The discipline you develop reading books helps you maintain the discipline to exercise regularly. The communication skills that advance your career also improve your marriage. The problem-solving abilities that make you valuable at work make you a better parent, a better friend, a better citizen. Personal development is the ultimate investment because it pays dividends in every dimension of life. No other investment offers such comprehensive returns. In the journey of life, there's a companion often misunderstood, yet one of the most valuable allies you could ever have. This companion isn't celebrated like success nor welcomed with open arms. Its name? Failure. Now, many of you might lean back, skepticism written all over your faces, wondering how can failure, often the source of disappointment and pain, be our best friend? Well, let me take you down a path less traveled, revealing a perspective perhaps unseen or unappreciated. Imagine yourself embarking on a journey towards your dreams, dreams that sparkle in your mind like stars in the night sky. Distant, yet alluring. You start with a heart full of hope and a mind brimming with possibilities. Then as you take your first steps, you encounter your first fall, your first stumble, failure. Now, here's where the story turns. At that moment of failure, you're standing at a crossroads. One path leads you back to where you started, safe yet unchanged. The other path, though, is where failure becomes your guide, not your enemy. It whispers secrets of resilience, of strength, and of the hidden treasures that lie in trying, falling, and rising again. Failure, dear friends, is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. Think of the greatest inventors, the pioneers, the visionaries. What's one thing they all had in common? They failed, not once, but repeatedly. But every time they fell, they collected the golden nuggets of experience, wisdom, and insight. They understood that to reach the pinnacles of success, one must wade through the valleys of failures. Consider Thomas Edison, who famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His journey to inventing the light bulb was littered with trials and errors, yet each failure brought him closer to illumination, both literally and metaphorically. He embraced failure as a teacher, a mentor that guided him to his ultimate destination. In our own lives, we often face setbacks and challenges. We try, we falter, and sometimes our dreams seem to slip further away with each attempt. But it's in these moments that failure, our uncelebrated friend, is working its quiet magic. It's chiseling away our fears, sharpening our focus, and forging our determination. Think of failure as the fire that tempers steel. Without the heat, without the hammering, and without the cooling, steel would never reach its potential strength. Similarly, without facing the fires of failure, we would never discover the strength that lies within us, waiting to be unveiled. So, my message to you today is not to fear failure, but to embrace it, to learn from it, and to let it propel you forward. Your dreams are worth the trials, the falls, and the rises. Remember, in every story of triumph, failure has a starring role, pushing the hero towards their destiny. Let's change our perception of failure. Let's befriend it. Let's walk hand in hand with it towards the future we dream of. For in that journey, you'll find the essence of growth, learning, and ultimate success. As we walk through this speech together, keep this thought in your heart. Failure is not the end of the road. It's a stepping stone on the path to greatness. As we journey together through the landscape of understanding, let's shift our gaze to a horizon where failure is not a shadow, but a source of light, illuminating our path to greatness. It's about redefining failure not as a setback, but as a setup for a remarkable comeback. In the tapestry of life, every thread of experience contributes to the masterpiece we're creating. Each failure, each misstep is like a color, adding depth and contrast to our story. It's time we start seeing failure not as the unraveling of our dreams, but as a critical part of the weaving process. Let's consider the process of learning to walk. A child doesn't stand and stride forward with perfect balance on the first attempt. No, it's a series of tumbles, stumbles, and falls. Yet each fall is celebrated, not frowned upon. Why? Because with every fall, the child is learning, growing, and inching closer to walking. Each failure is a lesson in balance, coordination, and perseverance. It's this natural learning process, uninhibited by fear of failure, that we need to re-embrace. The society, however, often paints failure with a brush of shame and disappointment. We're taught to hide our failures, to cover them up with a veneer of unblemished records. But what if we chose to wear our failures as badges of honor, as testament to our courage to try, to dare, and to step into the arena of challenge? Reframing failure begins with understanding its role. Failure is a mentor, a guide, a navigator steering us through the uncharted waters of our potential. It shows us where we need to grow, what skills we need to develop, and which areas of our life need more focus. It pushes us out of the complacency of the familiar and nudges us towards new frontiers. When you encounter failure, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? This simple question shifts your perspective from blame to curiosity, from a focus on what went wrong to what can be improved. It's a transformative approach that turns stumbling blocks into stepping stones. In this redefinition of failure, let's also embrace the power of resilience. Resilience is born in the soil of failure. It's the ability to bounce back, to rise again stronger, wiser, and more determined. Every time we overcome a failure, our resilience muscle gets stronger, preparing us for bigger challenges and greater victories. Think of it this way. The oak tree doesn't grow strong and mighty in the shelter of the valley, but on the windswept hillsides where it's tested and challenged by the elements. Similarly, our strength, our character, and our capabilities are honed in the face of challenges and failures. They shape us into more resilient, more capable, and more empathetic individuals. Failure also teaches us humility and empathy. It keeps us grounded, reminding us that we're human, ever evolving, ever learning. It connects us with others as we realize that everyone has their own battles and setbacks. The shared experience of failure makes us kinder, more understanding, and more supportive of each other's journeys. In redefining failure, let's not forget the role of perspective. Perspective is like a lens through which we view the events of our lives. Change the lens, and you change the view. Look at failure through the lens of growth, opportunity, and learning, and you'll find it less daunting, less final. Remember, the stories we admire most, the tales that stir our hearts, are not about flawless journeys, but about resilience, recovery, and redemption. They're about the underdog who overcomes odds, the phoenix that rises from the ashes. Your life story is no less inspiring. Every chapter of failure adds to the epic tale you're writing, a tale of overcoming, of triumph, of relentless pursuit of your dreams. As we continue our exploration, weaving through the tapestry of time, let's turn the pages of history. Here, nestled in the annals of the past, are stories that sing the praises of failure as the purser to success. These narratives, not mere anecdotes, serve as beacons, guiding us through our own trials and tribulations. Let's venture back and look at some familiar names, individuals whose failures became not their epitaphs, but rather the prologue to their success stories. These are not just tales of overcoming odds. They are testimonies to the resilience of the human spirit, to our innate ability to rise from the ashes of our failed attempts. Consider Abraham Lincoln, a name synonymous with leadership and change. But do you know the story of his journey? It's a path marked by defeat, loss, and failure. Lincoln faced business failures and was defeated in numerous legislative races. Yet he didn't let these setbacks define him. Instead, they shaped his character, honed his wisdom, and fortified his resolve. When he finally became the President of the United States, it was these very failures that had equipped him to lead a nation through its most challenging period. His story teaches us that sometimes the road to success is paved with the bricks of failure. Then there's the tale of Thomas Edison, an inventor whose name is etched in the annals of innovation. His journey to inventing the light bulb was anything but a straight line. It was a winding path of trials, errors, and over 10,000 failures. Yet Edison famously remarked that each failed attempt was merely another step towards success. He embraced each failure, learning from it and moving forward. It was his persistence through failure that eventually illuminated the world. Edison's story is a powerful reminder that persistence and learning from failure are the ingredients of success. Let's also not forget the story of the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur. These pioneers of aviation faced ridicule and disbelief. Their attempts at flight were initially marked by crashes, broken wings, and skepticism. Yet they persevered, driven by the belief that human flight was possible. Their failures were not setbacks, but stepping stones, each one bringing them closer to their historic flight at Kitty Hawk. The Wright brothers' journey is a testament to the power of a vision so strong that it turns failures into milestones. Now let's bring it closer to our time, to a name known in almost every household, J.K. Rowling. Before the world knew her as the author of Harry Potter, Rowling was a struggling writer, a single mother living on welfare. Her manuscript was rejected by multiple publishers, deemed unlikely to succeed. Yet she clung to her story, believing in the magic she had created. Today, her books have not only achieved monumental success, but have also sparked the imaginations of millions worldwide. Rolling's journey is a beacon to anyone who fears their work. Their art, their dream is facing rejection and failure. Each of these stories is a mosaic, pieces of failure, beautifully arranged to create a masterpiece of success. These historical figures were no different from you or me. They felt disappointment, they faced despair, but they chose to keep moving forward. Their lives remind us that every great achievement was once deemed impossible, every path to success littered with obstacles. But it is our response to these obstacles, our resilience in the face of failure, that defines our journey. As we dwell on these stories, let's not just be inspired by them. Let's draw lessons from them. They teach us that failure is not the antithesis of success. It is its companion. They encourage us to persist, to learn, and to grow. They urge us to keep our eyes on our goals, even when our paths are clouded by failures. So, as we continue on our paths, let us carry these stories in our hearts. Let them be the light that guides us through our moments of doubt and despair. Remember, history is not just about the past. It's a mirror reflecting our potential future, a future where our failures are not stumbling blocks, but stepping stones to our greatest achievements. As we journey further in to the heart of our discussion, let's ponder a vital aspect of our lives, personal development. It's a path often winding and rugged, marked by the signposts of failures and setbacks. Yet it's these very markers that guide us towards growth, understanding, and self-discovery. In the realm of personal development, failure is not just a teacher. It's a rigorous trainer. Like a trainer in the gym, failure pushes you beyond your perceived limits, challenges your endurance, and tests your resolve. When lifting weights, the resistance strengthens you, and in a similar vein, each failure you encounter adds to your mental and emotional strength. It's in the moments of failure that our character is sculpted, chiseled out of the rock of adversity and challenge. Think of failure as a refining fire. Gold, in its raw form, is mixed with impurities. It's the process of smelting, where intense heat is applied, that brings out the pure, valuable metal. In our lives, failures are those moments of intense heat. They burn away our doubts, fears, and limitations, leaving behind a purer, more resilient version of ourselves. Personal development through failure also involves a change in mindset. It requires us to shift from a fixed mindset where abilities are seen as static to a growth mindset where abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. This shift is fundamental. With a fixed mindset, failure is a label, a dead end. But with a growth mindset, failure is just a temporary setback, an opportunity for learning and growth. In this journey of personal growth, it's crucial to embrace vulnerability. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but in reality, it's a strength. It's the courage to face your failures, to acknowledge them, and to learn from them. It's the willingness to stand back up, to dust yourself off, and to try again, armed with the wisdom of your experiences. Vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. As you navigate through your failures, keep in mind the power of reflection. After a setback, take a moment to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, what did this experience teach me? What can I do better next time? How has this shaped my understanding? This reflection turns experience into insight and failure into wisdom. It's also essential to cultivate resilience. Resilience is like a muscle. It strengthens with use. Every time you choose to persevere in the face of failure, you build your resilience. This resilience becomes your shield, helping you weather the storms of adversity and keep moving forward. In your journey of personal development, let's not forget the role of gratitude. It might seem counterintuitive to be grateful for failure, but gratitude shifts your focus from what you've lost to what you've gained. resilience, strength, wisdom, and humility. Gratitude in failure keeps you grounded and balanced. Moreover, failure fosters empathy. When you've walked through the valleys of setbacks and disappointments, you develop a deeper understanding and compassion for others in their struggles. This empathy enriches your relationships, enhances your leadership abilities, and deepens your connection with those around you. So, as we traverse through our own landscapes of personal development, let's view failure not as a shadow obscuring our path, but as a beacon guiding our way. Let's recognize that each failure molds us, shapes us, and propels us toward a better version of ourselves. As we conclude this segment of our discussion, hold on to the notion that your failures are not just stumbling blocks, but stepping stones leading you to higher ground. In the garden of personal growth, the seeds of failure, when watered with reflection, resilience, and gratitude, can bloom into the most beautiful flowers of success and fulfillment. Let's continue to walk this path, embracing each failure as a friend, a teacher, and a guide, leading us towards our best selves. As we tread further along this path of understanding, let's turn our focus to a crucial element in our dance with failure: our attitude. The attitude we carry is the lens through which we view the world, including our failures. It shapes our thoughts, colors our perceptions, and dictates our reactions to life's myriad challenges. Because individuals can face the same setback, the same failure. One sees it as the end of the road, a signal to give up, while the other sees it as a mere detour, an opportunity to learn and grow. What makes the difference? It's their attitude. An attitude that embraces failure as a part of the journey is like a well-built ship facing a storm. Yes, the waters are rough, the winds are fierce, and the path is uncertain. But the ship, powered by a positive attitude, navigates through the tumult, learning from each wave, each gust of wind. It emerges from the storm stronger, more resilient, ready to sail further and explore deeper. That's the power of a positive attitude in facing failure. In the face of failure, an attitude of resilience and optimism acts like a buffer. It softens the blow, not by diminishing the significance of the setback, but by cushioning its impact. It allows you to see beyond the immediate disappointment to a future filled with possibilities. An optimistic attitude whispers, this is not the end, but a new beginning. Not a failure, but a lesson. Not a time to lament, but a time to reflect and rise. Moreover, a positive attitude ignites a spark of creativity. When faced with failure, it encourages you not to tread the same path, but to carve a new one. It challenges you to think outside the box, to innovate, It's in these moments of creative thinking that new solutions are born, solutions that transform failure into stepping stones towards success. Let's not forget, attitude also plays a pivotal role in maintaining perseverance. The journey to success is often long and arduous, punctuated by failures, big and small. An attitude that sees value in persistence, that recognizes the importance of staying the course, becomes the fuel that keeps you going. It's like the steady, enduring flame of a lantern on a dark path, guiding you one step at a time towards your destination. An attitude of learning and growth transforms failure from a source of pain to a source of insight. Every misstep, every setback carries a lesson. With the right attitude, you become a student of life, eager to learn, to understand, to adapt. Each failure then becomes a classroom, and every setback a curriculum designed for your personal growth. But cultivating such an attitude is not a passive process. It requires conscious effort, a deliberate choice to see the silver lining in every dark cloud. It's a commitment to remain steadfast in the face of despair, to remain hopeful in the face of defeat. Remember, the attitude you bring to your failures not only determines your feelings about them, but also your future beyond them. It shapes your character, defines your resilience, and charts your path forward. It's the difference between those who are broken by failure and those who break records despite their failures. As we reflect on this, let's understand that our attitude is not just a reaction to our circumstances. It's a choice, a powerful tool in our arsenal as we face life's challenges. So, let's choose an attitude that empowers us, that uplifts us, and that propels us forward. Let's choose to see failure not as a foe to be feared, but as a friend to be understood, a teacher to be heeded, and a guide to be followed. In the grand narrative of life, where each experience contributes a verse, failure stands out as an unlikely teacher. Its lessons are often harsh, its classroom daunting, yet the wisdom it imparts is invaluable. This teacher, failure, does not hand out easy grades or give comforting pats on the back. Instead, it challenges, it tests, and it pushes us beyond our comfort zones. But like any great teacher, it aims to bring out the best in us. Let's consider the lessons that failure teaches. The first and perhaps the most important is resilience. Resilience is the art of bouncing back, of turning setbacks into comebacks. Failure teaches this art by putting us through tests of endurance and will. It's like the relentless waves shaping a cliff. They crash against it time and again, but each impact only serves to define and strengthen its resolve. Similarly, each time we face failure and rise again, we become more resilient, more capable of facing life's next challenge. Another lesson from this stern teacher is humility. Success can often lead to a sense of invincibility, an illusion that we're beyond failure. But when failure does come, as it inevitably does, it brings us back to earth, reminding us of our fallibility, our humanness. This humility is not about belittling ourselves, but about understanding our limits and our potential to grow beyond them. It teaches us to value help, to appreciate collaboration, and to understand that we're part of a larger tapestry of human endeavor. Failure also imparts wisdom, the kind that can't be found in books or lectures. This wisdom comes from experience, from the trial and error of trying, failing, learning, and trying again. It's a wisdom that deepens our understanding of ourselves, our strengths, our weaknesses, and our capabilities. Like a miner sifting through rock to find precious gems, we sift through our failures to find nuggets of wisdom that guide us in our future endeavors. Moreover, failure teaches us adaptability and flexibility. It challenges our methods, our strategies, and our approaches, forcing us to rethink, reevaluate, and re-engineer our paths. It teaches us that there's more than one way to reach a destination, and that sometimes taking a detour can lead to more scenic and enlightening routes. In the face of failure, we learn to be fluid, to adjust our sails when the wind changes direction, to navigate our way through uncharted waters. Failure also teaches us about our passions and convictions. When faced with failure, especially in pursuits we're deeply passionate about, our resolve is tested. It's in these moments that we discover just how much our dreams and goals mean to us. Do we give up at the first sign of trouble, or do we hold on, fight harder, and push further? Failure, in this sense, acts as a filter, separating fleeting interest from true passions. In this classroom of failure, we also learn empathy and compassion. Having walked through the valleys of disappointment and setbacks, we become more attuned to the struggles of others. We develop a kinder, more compassionate perspective towards those around us, understanding that everyone is fighting their own battles, often hidden from view. Finally, failure teaches us gratitude. This might seem paradoxical, but in the aftermath of failure, we come to appreciate the good times more. We learn to cherish the moments of success, the periods of peace, and the simple pleasures of life. Failure makes us more present, more aware of the blessings we have, and more thankful for the journey with all its ups and downs. So, As we continue on our paths, let us embrace failure as a teacher. Let us be attentive students, eager to learn, willing to be tested, and open to growing. The lessons may be tough, the wisdom hard-earned, but they are invaluable in shaping us into more resilient, wise, and compassionate individuals. As we conclude this chapter on failure as a teacher, let's carry its lessons with us. Let them be the undercurrents that strengthen and guide us. In the tapestry of our lives, let the threads of failure not be seen as flaws, but as integral parts of the beautiful design we're creating. Remember, in the grand scheme of things, failure is not just an obstacle. It's a catalyst for growth, a harbinger of wisdom, and a cornerstone of success. In this world, constantly buzzing with noise, opinions, and endless chatter, there's a profound power hidden in the art of silence, a power often overlooked in our haste to be heard. This message isn't about withdrawing from the world, but rather about the strength and wisdom found in choosing our moments of silence wisely. Imagine for a moment you're at a crossroads in your life. Voices from every direction offer advice, opinions, and judgments. In these moments, the decision to step back and embrace silence isn't just an act of restraint. It's a bold statement of self-awareness. It's in these pockets of quiet that we find clarity and understanding, where the noise of the world fades away and our true inner voice becomes clear. Now consider the times we speak without thinking. Words, once spoken, can never be taken back. They have the power to uplift or to wound, to inspire or to discourage. Silence, on the other hand, is like a blank canvas, holding limitless potential, unmarred by hasty words or ill-considered opinions. It's a powerful tool, a sanctuary where wisdom can take root and flourish. In the tapestry of our daily interactions, it's often the moments we choose not to fill with words that speak the loudest. Silence can convey understanding, empathy, and respect. It allows others the space to express themselves, to share their thoughts and feelings without interruption. By listening, truly listening, we offer a gift more valuable than any words. Think about the conversations that have left a lasting impact on you. Often, it's not the words that were spoken, but the moments of shared silence that linger in our memory. In those quiet moments, a deeper connection is formed, one that transcends the need for words. It's a connection born of mutual respect and understanding, a silent acknowledgement of the shared human experience. Moreover, silence is a reflection of confidence. It shows a comfort in one's own thoughts, an inner peace that doesn't need constant external validation. In silence, we find the courage to look inward, to confront our own fears and doubts without the distraction of outside noise. It's in these moments of introspection that true growth happens, where we learn about ourselves and the world around us. The decision to remain silent, then, is not a passive one. It's an active choice, a strategic tool that, when used wisely, can open doors to deeper understanding and more meaningful connections. It's about knowing when to speak and when to listen, recognizing that sometimes the most powerful thing we can say is nothing at all. As we navigate the complexities of life, let us remember the strength found in silence. Let it be a reminder to pause, to reflect, and to choose our words with care. For in the quiet moments, away from the noise and haste, lies the key to understanding, connection, and inner peace. Let us embrace the power of silence, not as a retreat from the world, but as a bridge to deeper, more meaningful interactions. GPT. In our journey through life, amidst the hustle and bustle of our daily routines, we often forget the art of truly listening. Listening, in its truest form, is an art that enriches not only our own lives, but also the lives of those around us. It's an art that fosters understanding, builds relationships, and creates a foundation for growth and change. Imagine a world where everyone spoke and no one listened. Such a world would be chaotic, filled with noise, but devoid of understanding. Now, consider the power of listening, the profound impact it can have on our personal and professional lives. When we listen, truly listen, we open ourselves up to new perspectives, new ideas, and new opportunities for growth. Listening is more than just hearing the words that are spoken. It's about understanding the emotions behind those words, the stories they tell, and the experiences they convey. It's about connecting with the speaker on a deeper level, showing empathy and compassion. When we listen with intent, we give the speaker a gift, the gift of being heard, understood, and valued. Think of the times you felt truly listened to. How did it make you feel? Valued, respected, understood. This is the power of listening. It creates a space where people feel safe to express themselves, to share their thoughts and feelings without fear of judgment or interruption. In this space, relationships flourish, trust is built, and true communication takes place. Listening also plays a critical role in our personal growth. It allows us to learn from others, to see the world through different lenses. Each person we meet, each story we hear, enriches our understanding of the world. By listening, we open ourselves up to new knowledge, new insights, and new ways of thinking. We become better equipped to navigate the complexities of life, to make informed decisions, and to understand the people and the world around us. In the realm of leadership, the value of listening cannot be overstated. Great leaders are not just great speakers. They are great listeners. They understand that to lead effectively, one must first understand the needs, concerns, and aspirations of those they lead. By listening, leaders build trust, inspire loyalty, and create a culture of openness and collaboration. They recognize that the best solutions often come from the collective wisdom of the group, not just the insights of one individual. Moreover, listening is a tool for conflict resolution. In moments of disagreement or misunderstanding, the instinct is often to defend our position, to speak louder and more forcefully. However, it is in these moments that listening becomes most crucial. By listening, we show respect for the other person's perspective, even if we don't agree with it. We create a space for dialogue, for understanding, and for finding common ground. Often, it is through listening that we find the path to resolution and harmony. As we move forward in our lives, let us embrace the art of listening. Let us listen not just with our ears, but with our hearts and minds. Let us listen not just to respond, but to understand. Let us create spaces where everyone feels heard, valued, and respected. For in listening, we find the keys to understanding, connection, and growth. In the tapestry of life, where the hustle and noise often take center stage, there lies an understated, powerful tool for personal growth. Silence, embracing silence, is not about muting your voice, but rather about discovering the profound insights that emerge in the quiet. Imagine a day filled with unceasing noise, a cacophony of voices, each clamoring for attention. In this chaos, your own voice becomes just another echo in the void. Now imagine a moment of silence. In this pause, the noise fades and a space is created. A space for introspection, for reflection, for understanding the depths of your own mind and soul. Silence, in its essence, is a sanctuary. It's a retreat from the constant bombardment of external stimuli that vie for our attention. In the stillness of silence, we can turn inward, exploring the landscape of our thoughts and emotions. This exploration is the cornerstone of personal growth. It's in these quiet moments that we confront our deepest fears, our most profound hopes, and our untapped potential. The journey of self-discovery is not without its challenges. It requires us to face the parts of ourselves that we often keep hidden, the parts that we're afraid to acknowledge. But it's in this confrontation that growth occurs. In the quiet, we hear the whispers of our innermost desires. the gentle nudging towards our true purpose and calling. Silence gives us the clarity to see our lives not as a series of random events, but as a canvas for our own creation. Consider the moments when silence has brought you clarity. Perhaps it was a walk in nature, away from the distractions of daily life, or a quiet morning moment before the day begins. In these moments, the mind settles and the heart speaks. Insights that were previously clouded by the noise of our busy lives suddenly become clear. Decisions that seemed insurmountable become manageable. This is the power of silence. Moreover, silence fosters creativity. In the quiet, the mind is free to wander, to explore, to imagine. Without the constraints of noise and distraction, new ideas can take root and flourish. Many of the world's greatest thinkers and creators have attributed their most profound insights to moments of silence and solitude. In these moments, the boundaries of possibility expand and the extraordinary becomes attainable. Silence also teaches us the value of patience. In a world that demands instant gratification, silence reminds us that some things require time to unfold. It teaches us to wait, to listen. This patience is a vital component of personal growth. It allows us to approach life with a sense of calm and composure, to respond rather than react to the world around us. As we navigate the journey of personal growth, let us not underestimate the power of silence. Let us carve out moments in our day to disconnect from the noise, to connect with ourselves. In these moments of stillness, let us listen to the wisdom that silence offers. Let us embrace the quiet, not as a void to be filled, but as a space to be explored. In the heat of conflict, where emotions run high and words often fly unchecked, there lies a hidden strength, a tool of profound power and influence, the strength of silence. In our journey through life, we encounter moments of disagreement, of tension, of opposing viewpoints. It is in these moments that the choice of silence, far from being a sign of weakness, reveals itself as a fortress of self-control and wisdom. Picture yourself in the midst of a heated argument. Voices rise, words become weapons, and the gap of understanding widens. Now imagine choosing silence in this storm. This silence is not a surrender, but a strategic pause, a moment to collect your thoughts, to calm your emotions, to see beyond the immediate chaos. It's a choice that speaks volumes, conveying patience, respect, and the willingness to listen even when every instinct urges you to retaliate. Silence in conflict is like navigating through a storm. When the waves of discord rise and the winds of anger howl, silence is the anchor that holds steady. It provides a moment to reflect, to look beneath the surface of the conflict, to understand not just what is being said, but why it's being said. In this understanding lies the path to resolution. This isn't to say that silence is about avoidance or denial. On the contrary, it's a powerful form of engagement. It's a conscious decision to take a step back, to view the situation with a clear, unclouded mind. In the heat of the moment, our words can often be reactive, driven by emotion rather than reason. Silence gives us the chance to shift from a reactive stance to a proactive one, to choose our words with care and precision, ensuring they contribute to a solution rather than exacerbate the problem. Moreover, silence in conflict demonstrates strength of character. It shows a mastery over one's impulses, a deep-rooted confidence that doesn't need to rely on verbal confrontation to assert itself. This kind of strength is contagious, inspiring calm and reason in others, and setting the stage for constructive dialogue. In the realm of personal relationships, the strength of silence is particularly poignant. It's easy to let anger or frustration dictate our words, but it takes true courage to choose silence, to give space for emotions to settle, for perspectives to shift. In this space, we open the door to empathy, to understanding, to seeing things from the other person's point of view. We allow for the possibility that there might be more to the story than our own perspective. Silence also teaches us humility, a crucial component in resolving conflict. It reminds us that we don't always have all the answers, that our viewpoint is not the only one. It encourages us to listen, to learn, and to grow. In doing so, we often find that the differences that seem insurmountable are, in fact, bridges to deeper understanding and connection. As we navigate through life, let us embrace the strength of silence in times of conflict. Let us use it not as a shield to hide behind, but as a tool to build bridges. Let us remember that in the midst of turmoil, the ability to remain calm and composed, to listen before we speak, in the realm of leadership, where words are often seen as the primary tool for influence and direction, there exists a more subtle yet equally powerful tool, the power of silence. Embracing silence as a leader is not about withholding communication, but rather about understanding the profound impact that thoughtful silence can have in guiding, inspiring, and empowering others. Picture a leader who constantly speaks, offering directives and opinions at every turn. Now contrast this with a leader who uses silence as a tool, someone who listens, reflects, and speaks only when their words will be most impactful. This leader understands that silence can be a profound communicator, a way to inspire thought, encourage input, and foster a deeper level of engagement within their team. In the world of leadership, silence is a canvas upon which others can project their thoughts and ideas. It's an invitation for collaboration, a gesture that says, I value your thoughts and opinions. This kind of leadership creates an environment of mutual respect and trust where team members feel heard and appreciated. It's in these environments that innovation and creativity flourish. Moreover, silence in leadership is a demonstration of confidence and strength. It shows a comfort in one's own abilities and a trust in the abilities of others. By not feeling the need to fill every moment with words, a leader shows that they are secure enough to let others shine, to let the collective wisdom of the team come to the forefront. This not only empowers team members, but also cultivates future leaders who feel valued and respected. In times of crisis or uncertainty, a leader's silence can be particularly powerful. It can be a moment of calm amid the storm, a pause that allows for careful consideration and thoughtful decision-making. In these pauses, leaders have the opportunity to assess the situation from all angles, to weigh the impact of their words before speaking. This thoughtful approach can often lead to more effective and sustainable solutions. Silence also encourages self-reflection, both in the leader and in their team. It allows for introspection, for considering not just the what's in the how of a situation, but the why. This kind of deep thinking is essential for meaningful progress and lasting change. It helps leaders and their teams to align their actions with their core values and goals. Furthermore, a leader's silence can serve as a powerful tool for de-escalation in conflict situations. By choosing not to respond in haste or anger, a leader can help to diffuse tense situations, creating a space for calm and rational dialogue. This approach shows a commitment to resolving issues in a constructive manner, valuing relationships over ego or the need to be right. As leaders, embracing the power of silence can transform the way we interact with our teams and colleagues. It encourages a more thoughtful, deliberate approach to communication, where every word spoken is done so with intention and purpose. This doesn't mean shying away from difficult conversations or avoiding communication. Rather, it's about understanding the impact of our words and choosing them wisely. As we draw to the close of our journey through the exploration of silence, it's important to pause and reflect on the profound insights we've uncovered. Silence, often overlooked and undervalued, is indeed a powerful tool in our personal and professional lives. It's a tool that when used wisely, can transform the way we communicate, connect, and lead. In our exploration, we've seen how silence is not merely the absence of sound, but a presence filled with potential and power. It's a choice that speaks louder than words, a choice that can change the course of our conversations and relationships. In the art of listening, we've discovered how silence allows us to truly hear, understand, and empathize with others. It opens us up to new perspectives, fostering deeper connections and a greater appreciation for the world around us. We've also delved into how silence can be a sanctuary for personal growth, a space for introspection and self-discovery. In the quiet moments, we are given the chance to reflect on our lives, to confront our fears, and to tap into our inner wisdom. This introspection is essential for personal development, providing us with clarity and insight to guide our decisions and actions. In the context of conflict, we've learned that silence can be a fortress of strength. It allows us to navigate through disagreements with composure and dignity, providing a space for calm and rational thought. By choosing silence over reactive words, we open the door to constructive dialogue and resolution, turning conflicts into opportunities for understanding and growth. In the sphere of leadership, we've seen how silence can be a powerful tool for influence and inspiration. It demonstrates confidence, empathy, and respect, empowering others to share their ideas and perspectives. A leader who harnesses the power of silence creates an environment of trust and collaboration where each voice is valued and heard. As we reflect on these insights, let us remember that the journey doesn't end here. The practice of using silence effectively is an ongoing process, one that requires intention, awareness, and patience. It's about making a conscious choice to embrace the quiet moments, to listen more than we speak, and to speak only when our words can truly make a difference. In our fast-paced, often noisy world, the call to embrace silence may seem counterintuitive, but it's in this very contrast that the power of silence shines brightest. It's a reminder to slow down, to be present, and to connect with ourselves and others on a deeper level. As we move forward, let us carry with us the lessons learned from the power of silence. Let us use them to enrich our conversations, strengthen our relationships, and enhance our leadership. Let us be mindful of the impact of our words, choosing them with care and intention. And in moments of doubt or uncertainty, let us turn to silence as a source of strength and calm. In conclusion, the journey through the realm of silence is not just about learning to be quiet. It's about discovering the profound impact that thoughtful silence can have in every aspect of our lives. It's about understanding that sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is listen, reflect, and speak with purpose. As we embrace the power of silence, let us do so with the knowledge that in the quiet moments, we find the true essence of connection, understanding, and growth. Let this journey be a reminder that in the heart of silence lies the key to a more mindful, compassionate, and fulfilling life. Let us cherish the moments of quiet, for in them we find the wisdom to lead, the patience to listen, and the clarity to see the beauty in the world around us. Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you today to share a few thoughts that I hope will light a spark in your hearts and minds. Today, we're going to embark on a journey together, a journey about moving forward, leaving behind the chains of the past that might be holding us back. It's a journey about embracing the incredible potential each of us has. You see, life is an extraordinary tapestry, woven with the threads of our experiences, choices, and dreams. Each thread represents a different part of our story, our past, present, and future. But sometimes we find ourselves tangled in the threads of our past, caught in a web of memories, regrets, or what-ifs. It's human nature to look back, to ponder over what might have been. But here's something I want you to remember. Dwelling on the past can keep us from living in the present and planning for the future. Now let's think about the past for a moment. It's like an old, dusty book on a shelf. It holds stories, lessons, heartaches, and joys. These are the chapters of our life that have already been written. And while they are important, they are not the end of our story. The past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. We visit it to learn, to reflect, but we don't live there. We live here and now, in the present, where we have the power to write new chapters to change the narrative of our lives. Imagine for a moment that you're holding a pen. This pen is special. It holds the ink of possibility, the color of hope. With this pen, you can write your future, a future unshackled by the past. But to do that, you must first put down the weight of yesterday. You see, carrying the past on your shoulders is like dragging a heavy suitcase everywhere you go. It slows you down, wears you out, and keeps you from seeing the beauty of the world around you. Let me tell you a story. Once there was a traveler who came across a wise man. The traveler carried a heavy bag filled with rocks from every place he had been. He asked the wise man, "How can I enjoy my journey more?" The wise man replied, "By letting go of the rocks." The traveler was puzzled. "But these rocks are my experiences, my past." The wise man smiled and said, "Remember them, learn from them, but don't carry them. Your journey will be much lighter." This story is a simple yet powerful reminder for all of us. Our past experiences are valuable, but they shouldn't weigh us down. Instead, they should serve as stepping stones guiding us towards a brighter, more fulfilling future. As we move forward in our conversation today, I want you to think about your own life. Consider the baggage from the past you might be carrying. What if you could set it down? Imagine how much lighter, how much freer you would feel. This is the first step in moving forwards, recognizing that while the past has shaped us, it does not define us. Our future is an unwritten book, and we hold the pen. So let's begin this journey together with open hearts and minds, ready to embrace the possibilities that lie ahead. Let's learn to leave the past where it belongs and step confidently into a future filled with hope, growth, and endless potential. Remember, it's not just about moving on. It's about moving forward with purpose and passion. The best is yet to come. Let's start writing that next chapter together. As we delve deeper into our journey of self-discovery and progress, it's essential to take a moment to truly understand the weight of the past. The past, with its complexities and intricacies, is like a vast ocean behind us. Just as the ocean has its depths and currents, so too does our past. It's filled with experiences that shape who we are, memories that bring both smiles and tears, and lessons that forge our character. But like the ocean, if we're not careful, it can also engulf us, pulling us away from the shores of our potential. Let me tell you about the nature of the past. It's a double-edged sword. On one side, it holds our triumphs, our joys, our successes. These are the moments we cherish, the memories we hold dear. They remind us of what we've achieved, the hurdles we've overcome, and the joy we've experienced. These memories are like stars in the night sky, guiding us, inspiring us, reminding us of the light in our lives. On the other side, the past also holds our mistakes, our failures, our heart touches. These are the experiences that often come to mind when we're alone in the quiet moments of reflection. They're the memories that can bring doubt, fear, and uncertainty. They whisper tales of what went wrong, of opportunities missed, of paths not taken. And if we're not careful, these whispers can turn into shouts, drowning out the present and obscuring our view of the future. But here's the key. While the past is unchangeable, our understanding of it is not. Every experience, good or bad, holds a lesson. It's like mining for gold. Sometimes you have to sift through a lot of dirt and rock to find the nuggets of wisdom. But those nuggets are there, waiting to be discovered. Our past mistakes are not just regrets. They are lessons. Our past successes are not just memories. They are motivators. Think of some of the greatest figures in history. Their lives were not devoid of mistakes or failures. In fact, many of them faced extraordinary challenges and setbacks. But what set them apart was their ability to use their past as a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. They learned from their mistakes, they grew from their experiences, and they kept moving forward. Consider this: a tree cannot grow without its roots. Likewise, we cannot grow without acknowledging our past. Our past is our root system, feeding us with experiences and lessons. But just as a tree reaches for the sky, we too must reach for our future. We cannot change the past, but we can change what it means to us and how it affects us. Let's ponder for a moment the concept of forgiveness, both of others and of ourselves. Forgiveness is not just an act of compassion. It's an act of liberation. When we forgive, we release ourselves from the chains of resentment and regret. We free ourselves from the burden of the past. It's like setting down a heavy load that we've been carrying for too long. Suddenly, we feel lighter, more agile, ready to move forward with a renewed sense of purpose. And what about the successes of our past? They too hold a special weight. They remind us of our capabilities, our strengths, and our potential. They're proof that we can achieve great things. But resting on past laurels can be just as hindering as dwelling on past failures. Success is not a final destination. It's a point along the journey. It's important to celebrate our achievements, but it's equally important to keep setting new goals, to keep challenging ourselves, to keep growing. In understanding the weight of the past, we must also acknowledge its role in shaping our beliefs and attitudes. Our past experiences often dictate how we see the world, how we see others, and most importantly, how we see ourselves. These beliefs can either empower us or limit us. It's like wearing a pair of glasses. If the lenses are clouded by negative experiences from our past, our view of the present and future will be distorted. But if we clean those lenses, if we choose to see the world with clarity and optimism, our possibilities become limitless. As we continue on this journey together, I encourage you to reflect on your past. Look at it with honesty and courage. Embrace the lessons, release the burdens, and use your experiences as fuel for your journey forward. Remember, your past does not define you. It's not a chain that holds you back, but a ladder that helps you climb higher. In our journey of self-discovery and growth, we've looked back at the past, understanding its weight and lessons. Now let's turn our gaze to the present, the here and now, which holds an incredible power that is often overlooked. The present is like a canvas, fresh and waiting for us to paint our moments, our decisions, and our actions. It's in the present that the magic of change and possibility occurs. The present moment is where life happens. It's the only time we truly have control over. The past is gone, a memory. The future is yet to come, a mystery. But the present, it's here, tangible, and ripe with opportunity. It's like standing at the crossroads of time, where every decision we make, every action we take, can shape our destiny. Let's think about the nature of time for a moment. Time is a curious thing. It's the one resource that is distributed equally to everyone. Regardless of who you are, where you come from, or what you do, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's a level playing field in that sense. Yet the difference lies in how we use that time. And the most effective use of time is to be fully present in each moment. Being present means being fully engaged with what's happening right now. It means not letting your mind wander to the past or the future, but instead focusing on the task at hand, the conversation you're having, the work you're doing, the moment you're experiencing. It's about living intentionally, not just going through the motions. Think about the times you've been truly present. Maybe it was a conversation with a friend where you listened intently, or a project at work where you were completely absorbed. Remember how alive you felt? That's the power of the present. It's in these moments that we find clarity, creativity, and connection. Now, staying present isn't always easy. Our minds are often cluttered with thoughts, worries. It's like a busy street with cars and buses of thoughts zooming past, honking loudly for our attention. But just as a traffic controller manages the flow of vehicles, we too can learn to manage our thoughts. We can learn to focus on the present, to quieten the noise, and to direct our attention where it's needed. One of the most effective ways to do this is through mindfulness. Mindfulness is simply the practice of being aware and present in each moment. It's about observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment. Imagine sitting by a river and watching the water flow by. That's mindfulness, observing the flow of your thoughts, but not getting swept away by them. And why is this important? Because when we are present, we are in the best position to make decisions, to take actions that are aligned with our goals, and to live our lives with purpose. The present moment is where change happens. It's where we break old habits, create new ones, and step out of our comfort zones. Let's also talk about the power of gratitude in the present moment. Gratitude is acknowledging the good that's already in your life, the blessings big and small. It's easy to get caught up in what we don't have or what we wish was different. But gratitude brings us back to the present, to a place of appreciation and contentment. It shifts our focus from lack to abundance. And in that shift, we open ourselves up to more joy, more peace, and more fulfillment. Remember, the present moment is where your power lies. It's where you can take control of your life, make conscious choices, and create a future that excites you. Every moment is a new beginning, a fresh start, a chance to do something different. As we continue on this journey, I want you to embrace the power of the present. Practice being fully present in your daily activities. Whether it's having a meal, talking to a friend, working on a project, or simply taking a walk, be there fully. Observe the world around you. Listen intently, engage deeply. You'll find that life becomes richer, more vibrant, and more meaningful. Now that we've embraced the present and its power, let's turn our eyes toward the horizon, the future. The future is like an unwritten book, each page waiting to be filled with our stories, our dreams, and our achievements. It's a place of endless possibilities, a canvas for our aspirations. But to paint this canvas, to write these pages, we need a vision. A vision for the future is not just a dream or a wish. It's a roadmap, a guiding light that directs our steps and gives purpose to our journey. Creating a vision for the future starts with daring to dream. It's about allowing ourselves to imagine the life we want, the person we aspire to be, the impact we wish to have. It's about thinking big, reaching beyond our current limitations and seeing beyond what is to what could be. It's said that if your dreams don't scare you, they aren't big enough. So I challenge you to dream boldly, to envision a future so magnificent, so fulfilling, that it stirs a fire within you. Now, envisioning a great future is not just about personal success or achievement. It's also about the kind of person you want to become, the values you want to uphold, and the contributions you want to make. It's about building a legacy, leaving a mark on the world that says, I was here and I made a difference. As we think about the future, let's remember that it's not something that just happens to us. It's something we create. We are the architects of our own destiny. Every choice we make, every action we take, every thought we entertain shapes our future. It's like planting seeds in a garden. The seeds we plant today determine the flowers and fruits we harvest tomorrow. One key aspect of creating a powerful vision for the future is setting goals. Goals are the milestones on the journey to our vision. They give us direction and focus. But setting goals is not just about deciding what we want to achieve. It's also about understanding why we want to achieve it. The whys is what gives our goals meaning and depth. It's what keeps us motivated when the going gets tough. Think about the greatest achievers in history. They didn't just drift aimlessly through life. They had a clear vision of what they wanted to achieve. They set goals, they made plans, and they worked tirelessly towards their vision. They faced obstacles, yes, but they didn't let those obstacles deter them. They used them as stepping stones, as learning experiences that brought them closer to their goals. But a vision for the future is not just about achieving and accomplishing. It's also about personal growth and development. It's about becoming more than we are today, about stretching ourselves beyond our comfort zones. It's about learning new skills, gaining new insights, and opening our minds and hearts to new possibilities. And as we create this vision for our future, let's not forget the power of positivity and optimism. A positive outlook is like a beacon of light guiding us through the darkest nights. It's the belief that no matter what challenges we face, we have the strength, the resilience, and the determination to overcome them. It's the unwavering faith that our future is bright and that the best is yet to come. But having a vision and being optimistic is not about ignoring reality or pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about facing those challenges head-on with courage and confidence. It's about seeing obstacles not as dead ends, but as opportunities to learn, grow, and become stronger. As we think about our future, let's also consider the impact we want to have on others. Our lives are interconnected, and our actions, no matter how small, can have a ripple effect. By pursuing our vision, we can inspire others to pursue theirs. We can be a source of hope, encouragement, and positivity. We can be the change we wish to see in the world. As we stand at this pivotal moment, with our eyes set on the future and our hearts filled with dreams, it's crucial to recognize that dreaming alone is not enough. To turn our visions into reality, we need to take action. Action is the bridge between where we are and where we want to be. It's the catalyst that transforms our dreams into achievements, our thoughts into reality. So let's delve into some actionable steps that can propel us forward on this exciting journey of growth and accomplishment. The first step is to set clear, specific goals. A goal is like a destination on a map. Without a destination, we wander aimlessly. But with a clear destination, we can chart a course and follow it. When setting goals, make them specific and measurable. Instead of saying, I want to be successful, define what success looks like for you. Is it starting your own business, writing a book, improving your health? Whatever it is, write it down. Make it tangible. And then break it down into smaller, manageable steps. Remember, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Once you have your goals set, create a plan of action. A plan is your roadmap guiding you from where you are to where you want to be. It outlines the steps you need to take, the resources you require, and the timeline you should follow. Your plan doesn't need to be perfect. In fact, it shouldn't be, because flexibility is key. Life is unpredictable, and your plan needs to accommodate unexpected changes and challenges. The important thing is to have a plan that moves you in the right direction and keeps you focused and aligned with your goals. The next step is to cultivate discipline and consistency. These are the engines that drive us forward. Discipline is what keeps us on track, especially when motivation wanes. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when we don't feel like doing it. And consistency is about showing up day after day, committed to our goals. It's the cumulative effect of small daily actions that leads to big results. Just like a river carves its path through consistent flow, we too can carve our path to success through consistent effort and discipline. Another crucial step is to embrace learning and growth. The path to our goals is rarely a straight line. It's filled with twists and turns, obstacles and setbacks. These challenges are not roadblocks. They're opportunities to learn, grow, and become stronger. Embrace them. When faced with a challenge, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me better? Adopt a growth mindset, one that sees potential in every situation and learns from every experience. It's also important to surround yourself with the right people. The people we spend time with can greatly influence our thoughts, attitudes, and actions. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who support your dreams, and who challenge you to be your best self. Seek mentors and role models, people who've achieved what you aspire to achieve. Learn from them, be inspired by them, and let their journey light the way for yours. Moreover, take care of your physical and mental well-being. Our body and mind are the tools we use to achieve our goals, and we need to keep them sharp and healthy. Eat well, exercise regularly, get enough rest, and practice stress reduction techniques like meditation or mindfulness. A healthy body and mind are not just essential for personal well-being. They're foundational for achieving our goals. Another key step is to stay adaptable and resilient. The path to our goals is not always smooth, and we need to be able to adapt to changing circumstances and bounce back from setbacks. Resilience is about having the mental and emotional strength to face challenges head-on, to learn from them, and to keep moving forward. It's about being flexible, like a tree that bends in the wind but doesn't break. Lastly, celebrate your progress. Recognize and celebrate your achievements, no matter how small. Celebrating your progress keeps you motivated and reinforces positive behavior. It's a way of acknowledging your hard work and reminding yourself that you're moving in the right direction. As we draw our conversation to a close, it's important to pause and reflect on the journey we've embarked upon together. We've explored the past, embraced the present, envisioned the future, and laid out actionable steps to move forward. This journey, like all great journeys, is not just about reaching a destination. It's about the growth and transformation that occur along the way. Remember, the path to achieving our goals is a journey of continuous learning and self-discovery. It's about becoming more than we were yesterday, about stretching beyond our perceived limits, and about writing our own story, one page at a time. It's a journey that requires courage, commitment, and perseverance. As you step forward into your future, keep these key points in mind. First, understand the value of your past. It has shaped you, but it doesn't define you. Use it as a source of lessons and strength. Second, live in the present. It's the only moment where life truly happens. Be present, be mindful, and make each moment count. Third, hold on to your vision for the future.
Cloud.
Let it be your guiding star, keeping you focused and inspired. And finally, take action. Dreams become reality through action. Be bold, be disciplined, and take consistent steps towards your goals. Along this journey, there will be challenges and setbacks. That's inevitable. But remember, it's not the challenges that define us. In every challenge lies an opportunity for growth and learning. Embrace these opportunities. Stay resilient, adaptable, and always keep moving forward. Also, never underestimate the power of gratitude and positivity. Be grateful for the journey, for the lessons, and for the people who support and inspire you. A positive mindset can be your greatest ally, helping you to see opportunities where others see obstacles. As you go forth, remember that you are the author of your own life story. You have the power to create a future that is in alignment with your deepest values and highest aspirations. Your potential is limitless, and your future is. In closing, I want to remind you that the journey to your goals is not a solo journey. It's a journey that we share with others. So lift others as you climb, share your learnings, support your peers, and be a source of inspiration. Together, we can achieve more than we can alone. Finally, remember that this conversation is not the end, but a beginning. It's the start of a new chapter in your life, a chapter filled with hope, growth, and achievement. Keep striving, keep growing, and never stop reaching for your dreams. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey. Remember, the best is yet to come. You have within you everything you need to succeed. Believe in yourself, take action, and watch as your dreams turn into reality. Here's to your success, your growth, and your extraordinary future. Let's make it a journey to remember.